guys, and we are here doing a behind the scenes with James Elliot. We had him on the show last night. If you missed it, you've got to go back and check the replay. It was amazing. We are still talking about we're still having the
Yeah,
conversation on
yeah.
failures. And well, after the show last night, Reg and I were talking with James, and we were like so excited for him to share some more, but he's going to go a little deeper. He's going to talk about authenticity in the midst of failure. Like, that's blowing my mind, and I'm super excited. James, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to do the behind the scenes here with us or with me. Reg is teaching her Zumba, so we give her love.
Right on.
But James, it's so great to have you back on. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. My pleasure. My pleasure. Good to be
So
here.
I'm excited. We were talking, and just now we were actually talking about this authenticity and failure. And as you were saying it, I'm like, how is that even possible? So share with us, how is it possible to have authenticity in the midst of failure when I'm sure there's some inauthenticity that exists. So
Sure.
help us understand that.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, in fact, I'll start with this. I'll start with an ism or a quote, and the quote is that the longest journey you'll ever take is from your head to your heart.
Mm.
And I love it. And I think it's true. It's all, I mean, people are so worried what people think of them. And remember our parents saying, be a good boy, be a good girl. What would people think? What would people say? And so we're all worried about what people think about us. And thus it's preventing us from being truly ourselves, truly real, raw, and authentic. And ironically, people want to just be vanilla like everyone else. So we're not different. We're not singled out.
Right.
However, the people we revere the most, Oprah, Elon Musk, Sir Richard Branson, Ariana Huffington, whoever, these are people that stood out and were or are different and very
Mm.
different. And these are the people we revere and want to be like, really. But ironically, we're trying to be vanilla, trying to be like everyone else, as I did as well in the past, being bullied so much and picked on so much, that I'm like, I'm just going to try and be exactly like everyone else. So they have nothing to pick on me, nothing to say, nothing to chirp me on or hurt me. And it was a form of self-protection, I suppose, but it didn't make me happy. That in itself was a failure. Speaking of failures, my goodness, that was a failure because I wasn't being myself, right? I wasn't doing what I wanted. And I
Mm.
think that is inaction and not being yourself and inauthenticity is the ultimate failure because you're failing by default, right? There's
Mm.
this fear of what people will think, or fear of losing time or money or energy or heartbreak or heartache. If we take action in a relationship, if we fall in love, we take action in business, invest in something, start a business, grow a business, hire a mentor, whatever it is. And really, the only way to fail is to give up or to not do it at all, because then
Wow.
really you fail by default. You never get what you want. It's impossible to get what you want if you fail by default. And I had such a problem in the past being real, being authentic, because of like, what would people think? What would people say? I don't want to give them any reason to pick on me anymore, bully me, or chirp me, and put me down anymore. So I built this wall, this highly inauthentic wall, or this suit of armor.
Mm.
And it was super interesting, both figuratively but also literally. I put on a lot of weight, a lot of size. I was strong, but I was this fat and strong fortress. So both metaphorically and literally, I put on this inauthentic suit of armor and these masks, if you will. I like how Lewis Howes talks about the masks of
Mm.
masculinity, and it's not just about men; women do it too. But all our
Yes.
masks we put on, the BS and this inauthenticity. And I was the king of inauthenticity, of indecision, of fear of failure, and fear of what people thought about me. And I was again the opposite of authentic. And eventually, I just said, you know what? Screw this. I'm not happy. I'm not, having the career, the job I love. I'm getting, screwed around in my career by a lot of things. I'm not attracting the women I want, the friends I want, the partners I want. I said, nuts to this. This is far more painful, far more than
Mm.
hurt or picked on, or someone picking me out and saying, you failed, or you screwed up, or haha, or you're different from us, or you dress this way, or you do that, or you roll your pant legs up that way. Anything. And I think people are always going to pick on us or find problems with us, but it's them. It's not us. It's them, guys. And I didn't realize it. It's them. It's their stuff. I was about to say it. Their stuff.
That's okay.
Their crap is their shit. I'm gonna be real with you guys. It's their stuff. It's not actually us. It's like when someone is drowning, you have to be very, very careful when you rescue someone out in the water drowning, because they will literally push you down
Mm,
unintentionally, but just push you down in order to lift themselves up. That's what bullies do. That's what people who pick on others, put people down. They're the ones with the lowest sense of self, lowest sense of esteem, lowest sense of self-worth. They probably haven't taken action for fear of what people think about them. Thus, they're chirping on you, hating on you, putting you down to make themselves feel better because they've done nothing, or they are so scared of doing it that they don't know what to do. So I love this expression of failing to success, and that is authenticity. And I admit I've failed lots. I've screwed mountains of stuff up, and I've learned from it. I've come away learning from it, and that's why I'm here today. They mentioned the book last night. Success starts with failure.
mm,
And if I could rename the book, I would probably even call the book "Failure Leads to Success." And failure
mm,
breeds success. It's just that didn't work. Let me try this. Well, that didn't quite work. Let's try this. That worked okay. Let's do that. No, not as good. How about go back? And how about this way? Oh yeah, that's even better. And you keep making these iterations, and that's how life and growth works. You're not born as Oprah. You're not born as Tony Robbins. You're not born as Richard Branson or whoever. We're
mm,
not born that way. We fail our way to success through actions. I mean, think about it. It's fascinating how adults are so unwilling to fail sometimes. Yet, as kids, as babies, we failed all the time. Learning to walk, learning to ride a bike, learning to crawl, learning to talk. All these things, all these failures, we failed our way to success, and now we're successful at a lot of things. Breaks my heart how so many adults are being inauthentic and not being the real them, not going after what they want, not speaking up, using their voice and saying, this is what I want, this is what I represent, and this is what I stand for. And if you resonate with this, come with me. Let's do it together. And if not, that's okay. You can go away. I'm not afraid of losing you. I'm not afraid of losing people that don't resonate with me or don't feel my heart, or that have opposite values or opposite morals or opposite direction or trajectory. If you wanted to sit, and drinking beer and eating chips, watch on the couch all day long, I mean, don't get me wrong, sports and movies are fun. But if that's all you want to do all night, every day, then we're probably not a good fit. I like to do cool stuff in the world, making an impact, and just having fun, hanging out with people, doing cool stuff. So again, the degree of your success is directly related to the degree of how much you're willing to fail
mm.
and how fast you're willing to fail versus putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and this is the message to people, because a lot of people right now, due to the uncertainty in the world, economy, all the stuff going on, seem to be putting it off. I'll wait. I have to wait till this happens. I have to wait till this stops or this starts. I have to wait. No, if it's in front of you, you're ready. That's why it's in front of you. So the degree of how fast and how big you're going to be successful is the degree of how much you're willing to fail, how big you're willing to fail, and how fast you're willing to get back up is directly proportional to the level and speed of your success versus putting it off. Or I'll just do this little thing. That way no one's going to see if I fail. This little thing, no one's going to know. Okay, that didn't work. No one knows. No one's going to see it. No, go big, go bold, have people see it. And this is the thing I learned. I was so afraid of failure too. And honestly, when you go for something, people will be like, holy crap, look at you go. I wish I could do that. And even if you fail, yes, some people will chirp you and tease and make fun of you. They're not your people. That's okay. They have such a low self-esteem and self-concept, self-worth. That's okay. They wish they could be you, honestly. Even if you fail, people will be like, holy crap. James went out there, Raquel went out there, Bob went out there, and they did it, and it didn't quite work out, but holy crap, did they go out and they gave their best, and they went big, and their intention was this big, their mission was this big. Wow, I wish I could do that. I want to follow them. I want them to lead me. Guys, even if you fail at things, you can keep going. If you keep going, keep getting back up. Wow, will people ever revere you? Look at basketball players. Look at fighters, sports, boxers or martial artists or soccer players or basketball. They fail a lot. But they're willing to do that. They get better, and they're the best at the best. They still fail a lot, but they're the best of the best, and people revere them. Right. So it's okay. Go out there and fail your way to success. Take action. Yes, get a mentor. Get amazing mentors. Yes, come find a course, find an amazing course. Take my course if you want, and that'll help rocket you to success faster, easier, better, and give you tools for success, for power, communication, influence, confidence, persuasion, for life. Yes. And go out there, be willing to do it, and be willing to fail, to not get it perfect, not get it right, or get it 100% wrong the first time. I
Right.
I wasn't born like this, right? We're all born perfect, and life does kind of screw us up a bit. And in my opinion, we have to find our way back to ourselves and learn and grow, and that way we can create these amazing business relationships, personal relationships, intimate relationships. And the most important relationship, and people would argue with me whether it's God or self, but I say yes, self and God, universe, whatever you believe in, and self. I think self is by far the most important relationship. And again, someone would argue that's the relationship with God or universe, anyways. So, relationship with self. Work on that, and work on that every day, even if it's a little bit. Do something every day to grow, something that scares you, makes you uncomfortable. That's what I learned. And even if you grow a little bit every day, this over a month, a year, 10 years, just the little change is huge. If an airplane is off track or changes course, maybe it's on track, but changes corrects course by 1%, you may go to New York City or you may go to Honolulu, Hawaii, 1 degree. That's a little bit incremental changes. And I say go big, go bold. If you want to go fast, go big and go bold. Even small things every single day will add up and make a difference. So
I love that.
that's what I had. Any
There's
questions, any thoughts, Raquel?
there's one thing that you said out of all the nuggets that you've dropped that really stuck with me, and that is we fail through our success by taking action.
You got it.
We fail on the way to success by taking action. I am a big proponent of taking action. We can sit, and I always reference it to the sport that I love, which is basketball.
Cool.
So the fans are always in the stands telling the players who are on the court and playing full out what to do, the mistakes they made. Oh my gosh, that was such a stupid shot. But you're in the stands. You are not taking action. Those guys are on the court. Those guys or those women, because there's WNBA, are on the court. They're playing. They're taking the chance. And like you said, they're taking a risk by being out there. Yes, they struggle. Yes, they have failures. But the thing is, they never gave up. And why most people do not or do give up is because their why is not strong enough. Their why is not propelling them to keep going. So if you have a wimpy why, and you'll know it's wimpy because you're not going to do jack
Yep.
about anything.
Yep.
You're not going to try to reach your vision, get to the goal. You're going to stay there instead and make wishes. Wishes, like I always say, are wishy-washy. Wishes have no commitment. They require nothing of you other than to hope and wish that something miraculously happens.
And you're
How
laughing.
about we stop playing it safe? That's playing it safe, like you were saying. You have to take a risk. All the people that you named, Elon Musk, Oprah, because she likes Cher. She just got one name. Ariana Huffington. All of those people. Do you not think that they failed? It is not possible for them to never have failed at anything. To be where they are today, they had to do so much failing. But here's the key to that. They've learned from their failures. They've learned from their mistakes. And they've made the adjustment. Like you were making reference to the plane. If you change 1%, you can go to New York or Honolulu. What's your why? And you guys hear me say this week after week after week, and I will not stop because it is so important. Your why is what wakes you up in the morning. It's what makes you get dressed when you don't feel like it. It propels you when your why is strong enough.
Yes.
Now, James's course is going to be amazing. He's taking you there. He's giving you the steps. He's taking you there fast. That doesn't mean you have to go fast. He's just giving you the tools, right? Because in life, anybody ever take the stairs? Anybody ever use the
I love
steps?
the
How
steps.
do you go up the steps? Do you go one at a time or you try to do 2 or 3 at a time?
Usually depends on my mood, but usually it's a few at a time. Usually 2 or 3 at a time. It's like let's get this. Let's summit this mountain.
But here's the thing about steps. They're intended to be done one at a time because on each step, you learn something different. And there are times when people take the stairs 2 and 3 at a time. Boop, boop, boop. I got to get where I'm going.
Rush.
And sometimes you stumble. right? And most people, when they stumble going up the stairs two and three at a time, what do? They slow down and then they go one step at a time because they have to regroup,
Fair. Exactly.
right? And that
That's beautiful.
stumble is the failure. And that regrouping is you saying, okay, let me get it together and do this again.
Yeah.
But now I know how to do it differently. So maybe I can take them two and three steps at a time, but maybe I'll look where I'm going versus looking at the person who's coming down on the other side.
Yeah.
So you've learned something. You regroup, you read it just. James just said, he said, get a mentor, take a course. What he's
Do
saying is
something.
invest in yourself. So are you willing to do that? Are you willing to take a hard look at your why? Because if you're not in action, your why is not strong enough. And I know most of you are like, no, my why is my family. Family's great. But there's a technique that I've heard from Dean Graciosi, and he got it
Mhm.
from someone else that I cannot remember right now. And it's called 7 levels deep.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That's how you find your why. And if
Yeah.
you are unsure how to do it, James, tell the people how to get in contact with you and you can teach them about that because I know you do
Sounds
it in
good.
NLP.
You got it. So I love 7 levels exactly. The 5 whys or 7 levels exactly, and it's going deeper and deeper. You can reach me unleashyourpower.com, James at unleashyourpower.com, or check me out James R for Robert Elliot, Unleash Your Power on YouTube. So check me out. Yes, 7 levels deep, and going 7 levels deeper is super powerful. And it's interesting you mentioned that because the higher your why, the higher your bigger your purpose, that away from this, think life is a black hole. Like, at the bottom of life, there's this black hole and it's like sucking you in, and it's on this happens, and the car broke down, the refrigerator broke, and this happened, I banged my knee and I fell, and this and that. And the higher the purpose, the bigger our why, the higher level our purpose. Is it just about self? And it's okay to be selfish and take care of yourself. I want to be clear. Is it only about self
Absolutely.
though? Or is it about a team, a partnership? Is it about a family? Is it about a bigger team? Is it about a business? Is it about a community, rather, the community you have? Is it about a society? Is it about humanity? How far up are you going on the
Mm.
levels away from this black hole of life that, yes, can suck you in and drain you and make everything look like monumental problems? But when you're focusing up here, your why is so high up here, your purpose so high up here, that the little stuff here, oh, the car broke, or I needs new tires, or I banged my knee, or I whatever, or this person's being mad to me, or I lost my job, or whatever, all that stuff that's down here doesn't bother you as much because your purpose is up here, your why is up here. And yes, you're getting into bed early, you're kicking ass, you're taking names, you're taking care of yourself. Yes, self-care. And your why is moving you. Even Tony Robbins says most people aren't lazy, and I don't believe in laziness.
Mm.
Most people have an impotent why or impotent purpose. It's not big enough.
Mm.
And they don't think they can do it. They don't think they can deserve it. If that's the case, come my course. We will knock that into space. We'll knock it into the sun.
I
We'll see
have to
that.
use
That's
that
deeper.
impotent why. If you don't believe your why is like the main thing, I don't know what to tell you. Go take James's course. Come get some coaching from Reg and I, because you've
Right on.
really and truly got to understand it. You've got to have a foundation. You've got to have that thing. And most people, James, and just tell me what your thoughts are on this, use people as their motivation. And when I used to teach, I was an educator for many years in higher education,
Cool.
and I was a dean of a college, all of that stuff. And I always used to ask my students, what's your motivation? And some say, well, my mom and my dad. And I said, okay, let's subtract your mom and dad out of the equation. Does that now diminish your motivation?
Right on.
And so what are your thoughts about people being your motivators? Nothing wrong or right.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. At some point, is it something intrinsic? Can
Correct.
you motivate yourself when
Yeah.
those people are no longer around? And what I found, James, and I'll
Correct.
give you a second, I'll give you a minute to say something. What I found is the times where I'm in really in need and I call the people that I know I can count on. Guess what? They don't answer their phone. Not because they see my number. They may be busy doing something. I can't reach them. I get voicemail. I've called 5 people and I get voicemail for all 5. And what that says to me is this is for you to do. Not
Yeah.
alone, because your friends are there supporting you. But right now, this is a step that you have to take alone.
Fair. Fair.
So,
It's
what are your thoughts?
and that's a great question too. It's a really great question, honestly. And reason is I often hear mothers say, "My purpose, I don't need a purpose. My purpose is my family." It's like, oh, A lot of people say my purpose is my family, my purpose is my kids. But to your point, what happens when they grow up, when they get older, or your parents, your purpose? What happens when they pass away? And a lot of people I've talked to that happen. Parents pass away, kids grow up, grow old, they're out of college, or they have their own families, and they're like, well, I feel purposeless now, and I feel like I don't
Mm.
have a purpose. And that's what happens if your purpose is only one or two levels above you, or about people specifically. I believe your family can be an amazing part of your purpose or purpose for you, but that's not your ultimate purpose. I think we're all here to help each other. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge. So what is that purpose, and how can you make the world a better place somehow? And if people think, oh, I'm just mean, or how can I make a big difference? I say to them, have you ever tried to sleep in a bedroom with one single mosquito? Do you think you can make not a difference? You think you don't it's only me, it's only one person. You think one mosquito will keep you up all night? You can make a difference, big or small, big or small. Mother Teresa was one woman, and she started a massive movement.
Yes.
So we can all have a massive difference. And if we all have just a little difference, we all did that, 7.5 billion people in the world. If we all just had a little purpose, little difference, or a big purpose, making a little difference, a little impact, even us one at a time, that will be huge times 7.5 billion people if we all did that. So I totally agree with you. I think
Wow.
making our family our purpose can be troublesome, because I find a lot of people, including women, lose themselves because it's all about the family, and dads too. A lot of dads lose themselves. It's just work and then take care of family, work, take care of family, work, and then burnout happens or heart attack happens. And I find that a lot, right? And I'm not telling someone not a parent because I'm not a parent. I'm just saying, your purpose, in my opinion, is higher than your family. Yes, your family is part of it. It
Mm-hmm.
supports your purpose. Your purpose supports your family, absolutely. And if it should, not that I'm should or shoulding you, but ideally, it's higher level than that, making a difference. And they're not necessarily a purpose. It's pardon me, not necessarily a person. It's a mission.
Right.
Somehow make a mission, and whatever that is perfect. I totally agree with you.
Wow, I love it. James, we pretty much did a whole other episode here. This was a behind the scenes, but it was so exciting.
I love it. I
And
love it.
ladies and gentlemen, listen, beat the mosquito. Mosquito is so tiny, but you're so right. That
Big difference.
sucker
Big
keeps you
impact.
up and aggravates you, but it motivates you to action because you do something when there's a mosquito in the room with you,
Mm-hmm.
right? You either cover yourself up, you're swatting, action
You
is
got
what
that
it's
racket.
all about, right?
Right on.
So we are going to get in action. Failures lead to success through action. Okay. And from last night, those of you who missed it, James gave us a breathing technique. He gave us the count. I'm not going to tell you. You got to go back and
Go watch
watch
the
the
body
episode.
language. Got to go watch it. Got to go back and
So,
watch it.
James, one more time, if people are interested in taking your course, please give them the information on how they can do that.
Perfect. So my website is unleashyourpower.com. The best page for the training is actually unleashyourpower.com/training. And again, James at unleashyourpower.com is my email. And again, if you want to check me out more on YouTube, just James R. Elliot, Unleash Your Power. James R for Robert Elliot, and then Unleash Your Power. You will find me on YouTube. And it's been a pleasure, guys. Go have an amazing day. Fail your way to success. And remember, notice your fears. My invitation is to pay attention to things that are not working, to these limiting beliefs, the monkey in the shoulder, the little devil in your back that's chirping you, saying things, paying attention to, I should or shouldn't, or can or can't, or must or mustn't, all these things and beliefs and stuff in your head. Half of it's not even yours. Pay attention to it. Yes, tell it to shut up if it's getting in your way or bothering you or throwing you off. And there's work to do on it. Instead of shoving it down, there's work to do on it. So tell it to shut up and let's talk, because there's work to do on it. In my course, we will do the work and we will blow that stuff into the sun. I promise you that.
So awesome. Thank you, James. Listeners, check James out. James R. Elliot. Okay. Unleash your power / training. Get in that course. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, as always, together we can rise and thrive. Till next time.
Right on. Take care.